Beginning a new role is one of the most stressful things that you'll ever do. And you will do it several times throughout your life. Your first 90 days is important. We use high performance leadership strategies to begin that first 90 days. Launch yourself strong and with confidence. Over the first 90 days, you really must be responsible for your own onboarding. Don't expect that, hey, let's all meet with the new guy and show him the ropes. That isn't the way it goes. You can't wait. You can't wait to find out. You can't wait to act. You can't wait to see what's going on there. You must act. And you must be able to make decisive moves, have a very early win in that first 90 days. So be responsible for your own onboarding. The reason that you need to do this, when you first begin, you must establish yourself as a leader. Immediately, you're going to hit the ground running. A good first impression just sets the stage. This is a new job. Nobody knows you. You can start over. Before you even start, you need to take a look at what you'd like to improve about yourself, because we'll work on that the first 90 days, not about yourself, but about your leadership style. You must do this because a bad start is hard to recover from. You have a bad start and nobody gets over that. They've made their first impressions. You're not going to recover. The way that we'll do this is use high performance leadership techniques that are proven to work. You will create influence, you will gain alignment, and be an inspiring leader. The techniques will help you be inspiring. The first thing you need to do is you need to have a strategy about what you've got to do that first 90 days. So take a look at what you have entered. Is it a startup situation? Is it a turnaround situation? Is this a company that is experiencing accelerated growth? Are you there for realignment? Does this whole thing need to be shuffled? Or have you just dropped right in the middle of a company that is sustaining success? And that's what you have to do, is keep it going. And trust me, that isn't any easier than anything else. Normally, when you enter your role, you're going to see some kind of mixture here about what's going on. Look at what you are entering into first so that you can use the right strategy. Your first 30 days, you need to learn. You've been successful up to this point. That's why you got hired. But this is different. This is new. The way you did it in the past may be not the way they do it here. So your past success won't help you. That's old news. You need to prepare so that you can be successful. This is their turf. So your first 30 days, boy, are you going to be learning. And learn fast, because you have a lot to learn. You may end up in culture shock. You come from one culture and go into another one. You may inadvertently really upset the apple cart if you don't know how things are done. You need to know what those unwritten rules of behavior are, what the values are. There's also the real culture in a company, what's really happening, versus their ideal culture, what they think is happening or say is happening or agree their culture is. Real versus ideal. You may be in culture shock at first. That's okay. You're learning. In your first 90 days, we have to create important alliances. Again, you're learning. Who do you need to know? How are you going to get things done? Assess the people that you are meeting and working with. Steer away from the negativity. Do not make comments about another person. You don't know these people. This is new. You focus on the tasks and not personalities. Again, you're learning. And some of these alliances that you have to create may be surprising at first. So as you move along in your first 90 days, you will learn who to trust and and who to depend on. You also need to look for cross-generational alliances. These cross-generational alliances that already exist in this company can be very damaging to you. And you need to identify them and have strategies to work around them or with them or through them. You just can't let them get in your way, but they are there. When you're leading people, you have to look at the strategy of leading up and leading down, but also not just vertically, but horizontally. Most companies today are becoming more and more matrixed. So the people that your peers, the people that you will be working with, need to be part of your management plan. Over the first 90 days, you're going to have a couple meetings with your boss, several, as you get going. And they're about your relationship. What are the expectations? What's expected of you? How are you supposed to report that? What is considered a win? And in that meeting, you want to be able to discern what's going to be that first fast win for you in the 90 days. And you're going to ask your boss, ask her, what would be the win? And you go for it. But you need to know what the expectations are. And just because you used to report to someone else, you can't take that relationship into this new company. This is starting over, and it's going to be different. And it's about learning about each other. And your job is to make your boss's job easier. You will learn how to do that in the first 90 days so that you can make a tremendous impression on this person and develop a strong relationship. That's important. The first 90 days, you need to develop your team. Now, you're going to make changes with this team in the first 90 days. You have to. You are the new leader, and things are going to change. And they're going to change for the better. You're going to start with what's working. And what we'll do is you'll work to create a trust-based environment. It's important for a high-performance culture, trust-based, so that people are not afraid to do their job. During this 90 days, you'll understand each role. Again, you're learning. You'll uncover the strengths of your team. You may make changes, and that's good because you're going to use the knowledge, all of this learning that you're doing to make sound decisions. Your horizontal leadership. In a matrixed environment, you need to look at what is expected from you. How can you help? If you are in that helpful mode, how can you help? What is expected? How you're going to ask a lot of questions about making things go very smoothly. Okay? Again, you will be learning during this first 90 days and creating those relationships. These are all people. So all of these relationships will be strengthened. What's at stake? Well, you can't uncrack an egg. So you need to make a good first impression. If you have a slow start, it's very hard to recover from that, and you just can't undo it. I have talked to so many clients who messed this up, didn't really understand what to do in the first 90 days. They maybe had come from an environment that they didn't need to take that kind of care. This is important. So, what we do, there's 16 sessions in your first 90 days. The reason we have 16 is more than once a week, just in case. And then we can also, for longer sessions, we will develop a strategy and how to execute the strategy. I like to use high performance toolkits, leadership toolkits that you will use to really clarify this whole process. There's a lot to do, but if you plan it, have a strategy, and then use that 90 days of execution. Now, the thing that I recommend is that before you get started, to take a look at mistakes you've made. Maybe not even mistakes, maybe places that you wish that you would have been stronger in your leadership. And we will work on those things your first 90 days so that you can start this new job new. It's a new day. It's a new start. Let's do it right. Talk to you soon.